Hey everybody, this is your old pal Chuck. I'm excited to bring you today another review. We are looking at from the 2016 Robots in Disguise line. This is the Minicon Battle Pack of Bumblebee and Major Mayhem. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the Minicons, but I do like their names, and I hope they're something that sticks around in the Transformers lexicon well into the future. I should mention that on the packaging, Bumblebee is referred to as a Decepticon hunter, so who knows what that means. But we're going to start off looking at Bumblebee. As you can see, it's holding the combined Decepticon hunter weapon. This is his armor bits and the primary weapon all smushed together. It's done in a nice clear blue plastic. It's I have a love-hate relationship with clear plastic, so we'll just put that off to the side. We'll get into the transformation. Um, I do like this Bumblebee figure. I think it's really cool. It is like a smaller commander size version of the warrior class figure, but in this regard, it's a little more articulated because of the additional ball joints in the shoulders, elbows, knees, and hips. So to start the transformation, what you want to go ahead and do is bring the legs together and then rotate the waist around. You can rotate the waist first. It's up to you. Um, then you want to come in and flip up the heel spurs. I should mention that in the packaging, the heel spurs are not folded out, so you don't really notice they're there until you look at the instructions. There's also a little bit of finagling here with Bumblebee's backpack. Bringing that back around, what you can go ahead and do is then flip up the feet. That'll reveal the headlights. Very similar transformation to the warrior class version of the figure. So now that you got that done, you can go ahead, flip down the windshield, and you'll just clip that into place. That'll just peg in, and the doors are going to be a little. Doors are kind of iffy. They're on a hinge here. The instructions show them to be folded up like this, but you really can't peg the windshield in. But whatever, we'll get to it in a minute. It does come together quite nicely. You want to fold down this back piece. That's the rear of the car. Then collapse down the shoulders, and they will tab into that back piece. Yes, there is a little bit of a gap right here in the back section. And then finally, go ahead, rotate the door panels down and around on both sides, uh, which basically will knock everything loose and out of place, but you can very easily squeeze everything back together. And there is Bumblebee in its car mode. And I have to say, it's kind of nice. It does roll quite nicely. Now, you really can't attach the armor pieces. I did try because, the hole's right there for the leg pieces. You can try and get them to face forward, but they really don't peg in right. Like I was kind of felt like I was kind of forcing something. But there is a hole here in the roof that you can go ahead and peg the combined weapon into. Unfortunately, there was no weapon storage underneath here. I was hoping maybe that peg hole was in the waist was there for something, probably for a stand. But there's no way to shove the blaster in there, just the simple blaster without the armor bits, without having the vehicle off the ground. But that is kind of cool. With Optimus Prime in Wave 1, you had that little slot that you could peg the axe into, and apparently the combined weapon could fit there as well. But, if you remember, mine was a little flimsy, so it wasn't that great. Then you also had side swipe, where basically it just pegged into the roof. So, you have that. Grimlocks is a bit more integrated, but we'll get to that. So, this is it for Bumblebee right now. Let's take a look at Major Mayhem. Major Mayhem is one of the newer Minicons. It's one of the spherical ones. As with all the other Minicons, there's virtually no articulation. There is some swivel here at the elbow, or what would be the elbow, to move the arms forward, but that's about it. There is also, I think, because of the transformation, you have this big head joint. But I've don't see any reason why this figure would be up like that. I guess it's like I said, it's because of the transformation, since that is a geared system. So to transform the figure, what you want to go ahead and do, just bring up the arms like that, come around, a little tail section here. This is folded up in packaging, so you just want to bring it down for robot mode. So just go ahead, fold that back up, and then squeeze the sides together, just like that, and you have a ball. And unlike, I would say, I think it was a bludgeon, that this isn't really that spiked, so it rolls kind of nicely, but the little feet there do get in the way. It is what it is. I mean, when these things get launched, they just get shot out, but it is kind of cool. And I should mention that transformation back to the robot mode is a little tricky because the gears and the shoulders tend to stick, at least on mine on this side. So you just want to make sure when you pull it out, everything's even. So now let's take a look at Bumblebee's armored form. I've gone ahead and returned Bumblebee to its robot mode to begin the combining of the armor bits. And I gotta say, this is really cool. They stick on a lot nicer than, say, Optimus Prime. Nothing has to clip together that wants to pop off, and I think they just look a little better. Although I will admit, compared to Wave 1 to Wave 2, the armored parts really just don't cover as much as they could, but whatever. So first thing you want to do is you take these little like wing pieces, and there's a tab, or I should say a hole in the arm that lines up, and then there's a hole in the wheel that will just peg in, and you can just peg these on just like that. That'll cover the wheel and that shoulder bit right there. Just like that. Next, what you want to go ahead and do is grab these little knee pieces, and with the hook facing up, you want to go ahead and just peg those in quite nicely, like so. I'll be honest with you, clear plastic, I don't know how well over time this will stick together. Now, you have a couple chest. You have the chest piece. Now, what I like is the helmet is connected to the piece. There are also two pegs. Right where my index fingers are, those are the ones that you use to combine for the super weapon mode. And then there's a couple smaller pegs. Those go into the chest. So you just slide this on, peg it in, and presto changeo, here you have Bumblebee. He can hold that very nice basic blaster. I would have liked to have seen the Star Saber, but seeing as how in the cartoon Bumblebee usually uses a blaster of this sort, I do think it's kind of nice. And I gotta tell you, compared to the packaging, this seems to be a little bit bigger, probably to do like the combined weapon mode. So, yeah, as you can see, Bumblebee looks really cool. I mean, you get this nice, unique look for him. Other than that, we're just I'm fixing the wings here in the back here. There's really no set position for them. The instructions aren't that clear on it. So, I mean, you can just, there are little notches, but that's for vehicle mode. But yeah, like I said, I do like this armor mode. I think it's the best armor mode thus far. I like the blaster as opposed to a melee weapon, which is what Prime and Sideswipe came with. And really, that's about it. So we'll pause for my final thoughts. The Minicon battle packs are a great set. While I personally would prefer just getting the core commander class scout legend sized figure without the Minicon at a lower price point, I understand why they feel the need to combine them together, since from what we've seen thus far, the Minicons are going to be a big part of Season 2 of Robots in Disguise. Like I said at the beginning, I paid a little extra for these that I really shouldn't have. But I was just so anxious to get these in hand because I really enjoyed Optimus Prime and Sideswipe, but I wouldn't recommend that for you, the average customer. These should be hitting retail soon. Uh, Online retail, Big Bad Toy Store was supposed to get theirs in sooner than later, and I feel um, that's really any day now since we're closing in on the end of January, and these are supposed to see a January release, which means probably by next month you'll be seeing them at mass retail. So, with that said, this is your old pal Chuck for Major Mayhem and Bumblebee. We will see you next time.